Hello, how are you? Today I am taking you behind the scenes of my garden. You're going to come and sort out my garden shed with me. It's tiny, I share it with my husband, unfortunately, because it does mean that it never stays tidy. But even my things are disorganised, so I'm going to be sorting that out. I'm going to show you how I organise everything so that I've got what I need when I need it straight to hand. I'm going to reward myself with a pair of brand new gloves, look, with a hook, so it keeps that organised, keeps them together. So come along for the ride and see what's going on behind this door. Okay, let me very briefly explain what's going on in here. On that side is mine, on this side is mine, and at the back there is all of Luke's stuff. And I know this shed is broken down in terms of being able to store things efficiently because we've been putting things on the floor because we can't find space. So that is just a sign that this is all broken down. So my plan is that I am going to start taking everything out of here. Everything on these shelves is going to come out because I'm going to sort it. I'm going to have a pile for charity, a pile for the bin, and then a pile of things to come back in here. And then if I just turn around here, I've got another unit that is cramped and crowded on the top. They are quite good cupboards, but again, they need sorting and I need to put things in their proper places. So quite a lot to do. In order to do it efficiently, I need to have a bit of a system going on outside. It's a job I do once a year, and I make sure, let me get you out of the sun, that I clear as much of this area as possible because I'm going to be using it for a pile for the tip, a pile for the bin, and everything else that's going to come back in to the shed. So let me just make sure it's all clear. So all of this needs to go in order for me to start utilising the space and getting everything out of that little tiny shed. now the next day. My phone ran out of battery, it ran out of storage, so I abandoned any filming. But I did carry on right into the night actually. I put a head torch on, finished off, and I want to show you now how much better it looks. Doesn't that look better? Oh my goodness. So much better. So that's still my side, that's still my side, and I've managed to sort of organise and condense Luke's stuff over there. We've managed to move a bit out of his as well. And the way that I've organised this shed is that I want to be able to see everything I've got. So everything that I use or could potentially use is on show. And anything that I need to keep but I know I don't use, such as bike puncture kits or these frogs, for example, that go in the bottom of a vase for flower arranging, they go in here. I don't need to see those on show. So this was something I organised in such a way with the pots that I could see every pot I had. So if I was stacking them, my internal rule is that I need to see what's in each stack. So I can just see the top of that. It just means I know what I've got. I don't have to keep reusing the same thing. I've just got full vision of everything. Now down here, the next shelf is food and fertiliser, and there's some rose spray there. And more fertiliser down here, and then I've collected things like hose pipe bits all together in one container, and things like hand tools, this is fantastic, again in one container. Knee pads, because I often use them with that, especially if I'm doing the edging of the grass. Then I've got baskets and coconut coir and other baskets and a bit of hessian, or I think you call it burlap in America. I've got a knee pad, I've got cat stuff for when we go away, automatic cat feeders. So it's all well organised. The things I use less at the bottom and the things I use most at sort of, shoulder height. No, a bit lower than shoulder height, but easily accessible. Now what I've done here, the bag broke, so I've decanted it into a yoghurt pot, and what I've done is put some duct tape on the lid and written the name of it, because often if I do it on here on the container, it wears off and I can no longer see what's in it, and I end up throwing it away. And I don't want that. So more food, more food, more food. What else to show you? Well, over here, so I don't know if you remember, it was just chock-a-block up here. And what I've done, I've taken all the little tools from a plastic container and hung them. So again, I've used cable ties, I've screwed in some screws into the wood, and it just changes the space, because I can see what I've got. And then here I've got there's my hori. This is the only tool really. Don't use so many of those, but this all the time. Here we've got augers, and I use those for bulb planting. I put that on the end of a drill and use the drill to make the bulb hole. So that's for a tulip, and these are for smaller bulbs. That's if I can't dig, or if I've got so many, I'll use those. If it's the odd one, I'll do it by hand. So my auger and the knife can live in there. So in here I've got floral scissors, ready for doing any cutting outside. And then I have in here some hand sanitizer. I can't recommend this enough. It's quite high strength alcohol, 70%. And every time I prune my roses, I will spray on the secateurs a bit of alcohol just to clean them, so I'm not moving disease from one plant to another if they are diseased. And then here I've got some measuring cups. This is an old jam pot. And this is actually a little baby measuring cup, which are very sweet. And that is because in here I have a huge bottle of fertilizer that I like to measure. So having everything I need accessible when I need it. And then over here I've got my tying in things, so anything I need to tie into fences, or the roses to trellises, or climbers to fences, I've got all my fixings in that box together. One last thing to show you, if you have hose pipe bits like I have here, they are brilliant, but gosh, they're difficult to store. So I've just put a screw in the wood, and now they are safely tucked away and they can't get in my way because it does drive me nuts. Down here as well, I've got my sprayers for my fertilizer. So sometimes if I'm fertilizing quite a lot, I will just fill one of those or two of those and just walk around with them. And then here are my buckets for cutting, and all my seedlings go in here, all my cut flowers go in here. Again, this one is just a little plastic box and I put string in, and so these are fantastic for cutting sweet peas, because if you put them in a bucket they'll get lost, and yet in here there's their own sweet little short bucket ready for conditioning and then arranging. So all in all, I am really pleased. It's a space I am not going to dread walking into anymore.